everybody, it's Craftin Just Because with Chris Cowan, and today I'm bringing you one of my 12 Days of Christmas projects, and we will be using the Wrapped in Christmas stamp set along with the poinsettia dies. This does come in a bundle, but we're only using the dies for this, and so I wanted to show you what those look like. There's a bunch of layering poinsettia dies, and then some greenery and leaves, and it's a great bundle. I plan on making a really cool project with this. I haven't gotten there yet, but you should be seeing some fun stuff coming up with this poinsettia set, as well as the Wrapped in Christmas. But what we're going to make today is this mid-size book box. And I got the original idea from Rejoice and Create, and then I put my own spin on it. So it closes together with a magnet, and then it has a little pocket inside, and I haven't decided yet what I'm putting in there, if I'm going to do stamps or maybe like a little treat. But then I also made 4 coordinating cards that went with it. And you could not even use this for cards if you didn't want to. You could put some treats in there and maybe tea in here, but the sky's the limit. I also incorporated that Forever Fern gold detailed die cuts because I wanted to use those up, and I thought this set really went well with what we're going to be doing here with it. So I'm going to show you how to make both the cards, and like I said, it's 4 cards and then the book box. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to move that stuff over. We're going to bring in our paper trimmer. And we're first going to start off with some cardstock pieces. So actually, let me get organized here a little bit so that we can know what we're doing here. These are the foil die cut pieces that I'm referring to. I used the just the bigger ones, and then I used the poinsettia dies to die cut out of the paper. Okay. So what we're going to start off with is a piece of cardstock that is 10 3/8 by 6 1/2. And this is going to make the cover of our box. So on the 10 3/8 inch side, we are going to score it at 4 3/4 on each end. So put it at 4 3/4, and we're going to score it, and then we're going to flip it over and score it at 4 3/4 again. Okay, then we're going to set that aside. Then on another piece of cardstock that is cut at 8 by 7 1/2 on the 8 inch side, so let's see which side is my 8 inch side, which is this side. On that 8 inch side, we are going to score it at 3/4 inch, at 5 1/4 inches, and at 6 inches. And then on the 7 1/2 inch side, we want to score it at 3/4 inch on each end. So 3/4 inch, flip it around, and 3/4 inch. Okay. Then you also cut another piece of cardstock. Let's see here. Got to make sure I have it. Well, let's cut a piece because it looks like I didn't cut that piece. So let me get a piece of that color soft suede cardstock. See if I have any just sitting here. I apologize, you guys. No. Okay, let me get a full sheet here. Soft suede. Okay. So on that other piece, we're going to cut it at, let's see here, 4.5 by 6 1/8. So I'm going to do 6 1/8 and then 4.5. Okay. Okie dokie. I think that's all the paper cutting we have. So what we're going to do is on this 4.5 by 6 1/8 inch piece of paper, on the 2 long ends, we're going to round the corners. So I'm going to use my trio punch here. Round those 2 corners. We're going to set that aside. Then we're going to make our little pocket. And so we're going to want to burnish all the score lines. We are going to have to score one of our designer pieces of paper, but we'll do that here in a second. Okay. So what we're going to do is on the long end, we're going to cut up each of the score lines, and you're going to wedge out on the square. And you're going to do the same thing on this other side. Okay. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to glue up the ends like this and glue this up so that it's our little pocket, okay? So I'm going to take my liquid multi-purpose glue and I'm going to put some glue here on the tab ends and glue those in. That in. Okay, and then we're going to glue these tabs onto this piece right here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to glue those two in on the insides. So you're going to put glue on the inside of this. And then glue up onto the inside. So I'm going to hold it there for a minute just so that it's nice and glued down. And then I'll take my bone folder and make sure all those pieces are burnished down. Okay. Then I cut a piece of designer series paper that was cut at, let's see here, 1 3/4 by 5 3/4, and I'm just going to glue that on down to my pocket there. And then we're going to set that aside. Next, we're going to work with our book cover, and we're going to burnish those 2 score lines. And then we're going to want to round the corners on these long sides. So I'm going to bring back in my corner rounder. Just like that. So we can go ahead and adhere our box down into the center of the right hand side. So I'm going to go ahead and add adhesive there. And this is where I really like to use that liquid multi-purpose glue, because I can make sure that I get it nice and straight on the center of that. And then I'm just running my bone folder down over that to make sure it's nice and sealed down. Shoot, I forgot a step. I meant to put my magnet down. Okay, well, I'm going to have to play with that here in a minute. Okay, so now we're going to decorate our front. And I'm just going to use one of my gold layered foil sheets. I'm going to glue that down. And then we're going to do all the stamping at the end. So I'll go ahead and let's go ahead and just set that aside for right now. Now we're going to want to do our pocket for the inside. So we are going to want to bring our paper trimmer in one more time. And we have a piece of the Poinsettia Designer Series paper that is cut at 10.5 by 5.5. And on the 10.5-inch side, we're going to score it at 6 1/4 and 9 3/4. So 6 1/4 and then 9 3/4. And then on the 5-inch side, we want to score it at a 1/2 inch on each side. I'm going to use my other side. Okay. So now you're going to want to burnish your score lines. So you want the front flap to go down this way. And then you're going to glue this up just like this. So what we're going to do is we need to cut off this long rectangle on each side. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. On each side. Okay. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna glue these to the sides, just like that. But we're not gonna glue down this flap because that's where we wanna put our magnet when we're ready to go. So let's go ahead and glue these sides down. And then I'm just gonna run my bone folder over that. And I'm gonna add a little bit of glue underneath that front flap there. And we're gonna do the same thing on this side. And add a little glue under that flap there. Okay, now we're ready to glue this into the front of our book. So let's go ahead and add glue. Oh, I should have rounded the corners. Whoops, I forgot to round the corners on this piece. That's okay. That's okay. Okay. So for now, we gotta leave it like that. Now we're gonna work on our cards. So I cut 4 card bases. They're cut at 4 1/4 by 11, and then they're scored at 5 1/2 down the center. So let's go ahead and burnish all those. Okay, set those aside for a moment. We're going to get ready to do all of our stamping at one time. So I like to stamp my envelopes. And I'm using soft suede ink. I accidentally grabbed the wrong color, but it is soft suede ink. Okay, and then I'm going to use my sentiments here. I'm going to do a little something for you. May your days be merry, surrounding yourself in the love of the season. Yeah. But I'm going to use that little piece to do my envelope. So let's get a small block. We'll get all of our envelopes done here. And I just kind of went like this. And like that. And then I did one right on the back. Super simple, but kind of just adds a touch of flair, I think, to it. I didn't want to overdo it with, the cards being the way they were. Okay, so now we have all those done. I'm going to go ahead and put those into our pocket. Okay. Now let's do all of our little circle punches, which looks like I didn't do. So we're going to stamp them and then cut them out here. Okay. May your days be merry and bright. I did 2 of those. And then I did surround yourself in the love of the season. I did 2 of those. And then I need one of a little something for you for the front. Just like that. Okay. So now we're done with all of our stamping. Let me get a circle punch to punch those out really quick since I forgot to do those. And then we'll just layer up our cards and get them ready. So I'm using our 1 3/4 inch. Oh no, I'm not. It's our 1.5 inch punch. Silly me. Which I believe this retired. When I originally made these, I made it with the layering circle dies. But since for the ease of this video, okay. So now I need to bring in thought I had some more Stampin' Dimensionals here. I guess not. Okay, I guess I'm using little ones. Okay. So I'm going to layer these up onto my Bumblebee 2-inch circles. Okay, last one, and then we'll layer it all onto the paper and add rhinestones, and we'll be done, you guys. Oh, and I got to show you how to do the magnet. I've got to come up with something clever to cover that magnet on the other side, since I meant to do that a totally different way. Okay, so those are all down. So now what I'm going to do, we're going to take our gold embellishment piece. I only add glue to like the outer edge and then the bigger pieces. And I did them at an angle. And then I took my poinsettia and I just kind of rounded the corners of it a little bit to make it look 3D. And I glued my circle down. And then I glued my flower down, just in the center. Just like that. And then you'll layer it onto your card base. Okay. Down. Uh-oh. My glue kind of seeped through right there. It'll dry. Okay. We have 2 more to go. I love this stamp set with these gold embellishments. I just think it classes it up so much. It's so beautiful. Okay, we have one last one to go, and then we'll add our rhinestones and magnet, and we will have a finished project to gift to somebody. Oops. Aw, man. Dang it. That's what I get for rushing. Awesome. I know what I'm going to do to cover up that magnet. Got an idea. My hands are all sticky from dropping that. Uh-oh, see? From dropping that piece. I think I have more glue on my hands than I have on my paper. Okay. So let's get out our rhinestones. Let me wipe off my hands here really quick with a wipey. That might help. Might help, or it might make it worse. Who knows? Okay. We have our rhinestones here. And what I did is I just took and did 2 down in the bottom corner. Just like that. Uh-oh. That one must have lost a little bit of its adhesive. See if I can fix it. Maybe, maybe not. Let that one dry. Okay, now let's do our cover here really quick. So what I did is I had some edge pieces and I went ahead and hand cut those out. I'm going to curl the edges. And then what I did is I glued it under my label here. So I just did like a strip of glue and glued it down like this. Like the label was over the poinsettia. Do the same thing on the top piece. Then I glued this all down into the center. just like so. And then we add dimensionals to this. And I think what I'm gonna do, since I don't have any of the big dimensionals, I'm gonna just use my strips, because I wanna make sure it's stuck down. Perfect. And then let's do a piece just across here too. Just like that. That way, instead of using all those tiny dimensionals, I know this is at least stuck down. And you're going to center it right onto the front of your book box. And then we have a tiny strip of that poinsettia paper that is cut at, let's see here, 5/8 of an inch by 6 1/4. And I'm going to glue that down right here on my spine. Okay, let's put our cards in here. Almost done here, guys and gals. Okay, so then we're gonna put our cards here inside. Hold on, I forgot to put rhinestones on my front. So I just did. Rhinestones like that. And then we've got to put that magnet down. So what you're going to do is you're going to open up your bag, and you have these little magnets, and I linked them down in my blog here. You're going to put a little bit of glue down, and you're going to tuck it under this flap right there on the end. And you drop the magnet on it, okay? Put glue on it, and we're going to put it down where it goes. And it left a glue spot, and we're going to take it and put it right on that glue spot. Okay, let that dry for just a moment. While that's drying, I overcut poinsettia, so I'm going to go ahead and glue that there, and then I'll trim off the edges. The reason you want to do this is these magnets are super duper strong. And that way it doesn't rip your cardstock when you're doing it. So let's let that sit for just a moment. And I'll put my cards back in here, and you can see the finished project. There, it worked. Okay, so there you guys go. There's your finished project. If you liked what you saw in the video, please go ahead and subscribe. And if you click on the bell, it'll notify you of any future videos that I make. I appreciate you guys joining me today. Tell your friends and family about me, and I'll talk to you guys again later. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.